Hi, you're watching Half Asian Tarot Queen. I'm Lisa, here to do a reading. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. So it's like I was shuffling, and when I pulled the pile out, like this was the first thing that came out, and then I went and shoveled it, and it like came out again. And when I did the initial split, it was that and the Six of Swords. But this time I got the Ten of Wands. And it's interesting because it's like a very similar meaning. So it's like, okay, this is the message. So, you know, this is obviously a card of heartbreak and loss. And then this is a card of putting the burden down. Whereas the other card was like about moving on from a bad situation to a better situation. So clearly there's a really strong message of like healing and recovery that's coming through here. When I pull this down, we get the Three of Pentacles, the Tower. Oh my gosh, here's that Six of Swords again. And like, I mean, this is like, oh, I didn't see this card that came out also, the Seven of Pentacles. So, I mean, really what I'm getting from this, there's obviously like a significant disruption that's gonna sort of change the foundation. Like there's gonna be some pruning that's gonna be necessary to sort of after this disruption, to kind of put us on a like more solid ground. But this is kind of like, it's almost like there's this reality check, or this is a card of like sort of not being in alignment with the reality around you, and like having like to reassess and realign. And so yeah, so clearly there's going to have to be some pruning that's going to be necessary to put us on like more solid ground. We've got 10 of Wands. Underneath that we have Six of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the Two of Wands. So this is like a sort of turning point. Like this person has the world in the palm of their hands. Like this is a manifestor, somebody that can make things happen. But it's like, and there's like a connection here that might be helping to open this situation up to allow like movement. But there is going to be a rebalancing. This is a card of like karma. It's a card of bringing things into balance. So like whatever this painful situation is, it's clearly out of balance, and it needs to be restructured in a way that's more equitable. And like there's like one person who's carrying all the burdens, and that's what's going to be set straight. So this is really interesting. I'm going to go to the mystical shaman and see what we get. Oh, so this is interesting. So when we did the split, we get the owl, and we got the sweat lodge. So this is a card of like healing. You know, like when you do a sweat lodge, it's like you go into this super, I mean, this kind of represents this sort of womb, like of Mother Earth, like this, and you sweat all the toxins out. So it's like almost like an unpleasant experience that's required to sort of let go of the things that aren't serving you, so that you have the capacity to heal. And so, I mean, I think that's kind of like a similar message to what just came through in the other cards. But this is a card of ancestors presiding over the situation, signs and synchronicities that are, you know, we have this bird flying over this, and this person is like emerging from this obviously really painful experience, but they're emerging from it and stepping into the light, like the light at the end of the tunnel. So really what I'm getting from this is like almost like someone's gone through some really difficult experience that's really tested them, and like it's been really painful, but it was an important, it's almost like it was an important thing to go through, because that was what was required to sort of like recalibrate the sort of paradigm under which they were living, so that they could come out the other side with this like fresh new beginning. So it's really interesting, because it's like almost like I mean, we have this big heartbreak card here, but it's almost like the heartbreak is what's being released. Like the heartbreak has already happened, like in the past, and this person, and it's caused someone to go through all of this like learning, and now they're finally being released from it. So I'm gonna go to the curious creatures and see what we get here. The sweat lodge seems like it's almost like a thought pattern or a belief system or something that was inherited, like almost like a generational curse, and someone sort of like almost like they've gained a larger perspective on it, and then it's like almost like they've graduated from their blind spot, you know, and it might not have even been their blind spot. It could have been something that they inherited in their, you know, family. But this experience, as painful as it has been like necessary for growth. Okay. So we have this Knight of Pentacles. And it's interesting because this is a different artwork than usually for the Knight of Pentacles. But what I just got from this was like, this person is setting off on a journey. Like, it's almost like, okay, like they've learned their lesson, and now they've got their bags, their horses all packed up, and they're ready to set off on a new journey. Like, that's kind of what I just got from that. So we've got the Four of Wands. We've got the Five of Wands. We've got the Five of Cups. And we got the Hermit. So this card is a card of like marriage, family, stability, foundations. And then we have it's followed by the Five of Wands, which is like a card of conflict and sort of like power struggles. And so it's almost like, you know, like I was talking about like these like family paradigms. So it's almost like this person is having like some sort of conflict with in their family, you know, like they might not see eye to eye, or some sort of foundational like ecosystem that you've been inhabiting. But there's like conflict, there's power struggles, like, and it's like bringing this like loss, you know. This person is like really sad that they can't get along, and you know, but the thing, it's interesting because usually with the Five of Cups, there's 3 cups spilled and 2 cups that are remaining. But this card is the other way around, where there's 3 cups remaining and there's 2 cups spilled. So it's almost like instead of a 2 of cups, like there's a 3 of cups. So like instead of like finding their soulmate and running off and getting married, or, you know, true love, like this is a card of like of a wider net. Like it's almost like reconciling with your people, you know, like it could be like a work thing, or it could be like a larger community of people who are like-minded that might be outside of your you know, little bubble that you've been inhabiting. So it's like you're not being appreciated where you are, but there is a larger community that gets it, you know, like that's kind of what it seems. So it's like this person is sort of setting off on this, oh my gosh, and right when I said that, I lifted this up, and right underneath it was the Eight of Cups, where it's like this person is setting off on a journey, this spiritual quest where they're being led by their heart to go and find those people, like where they belong, you know, because this isn't it, you know. So that's a really interesting message. I'm going to go to the angels and ancestors. This is really interesting because I did the split and we got Earth Mother, feeling loved and comforted. And then we got Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. So, I mean, really what I'm getting from this is like, you know, it's okay. Like, your community is out there, and part of healing yourself is going to be to step out of this environment where you're not really understood and go towards the people that like appreciate you and why you're here. And part of that is like, you know, we all have a gift, you know, and to contribute to the earth, and like realizing that is part of what is going to heal the earth, you know. And so it's like, trust your instincts on this, because this is all happening for a reason. You might just not be with the right people right now, and so that's why you're being compelled to evolve past whatever this situation is. I'm going to go to the Work Your Light for a final card. It's really interesting because okay, so yeah, when I did the split, we got birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. And it's interesting because there's these like circles, like there's this circle, and then there's like a larger circle, and then there's a larger ring around that, and a larger ring around that. So it's just like, that's part of the growth, you know. Like, this is a normal evolutionary process of growth that has to happen. Then we have Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. So yeah, this is all meant to be how it is, and everything is happening for a reason. You might not see or understand what that is right now, but you will find out if you trust your guidance and follow it. Because and even this painful lesson that has happened for a reason, because it's been here to teach you an important lesson, to prepare you for this next ring that you're about to expand into. So this is actually a good message. Like, there was a lot of messages earlier in the month about, you know, focusing on yourself and your own healing, because there's all this conflict and drama in the environment. And like, I think this is part of that healing journey, you know, is like knowing that you're meant for bigger and better things, and kind of preparing yourself for this next leg of the journey. So I guess that's it for today. We'll check back in soon with more messages.